The world needs more people like you, Mr. Roach.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Of course, you don't mind if we kill the others, do you?
Hey, if it makes you feel good, do it.
Makes you feel good, do it. Exactly. First things first, of course. The blood seal.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for This Shite. On this week's show we're going to be talking about the rather excellent Demon Knight from the, I think, 95? Mm-hmm. So it was 95.
I think
You're
so.
dead sure it's 95. You don't want to be starting off the podcast by lying to people, do you?
Well, maybe I do, but I'm fairly sure it's 95.
Yes, it was 95.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yes, Tales from... Hello. Yeah, God damn it, I should have started the podcast
Yeah.
now. Well, hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to... Oh, God. The guy who's the Crypt Keeper, his name is John Casser.
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. I'll probably
Right.
pronounce it very, very wrong. But I put it on for you. There's a guy, I think it's called Slimehouse TV on YouTube, who does it's a toy channel, but he also he participates in like a horror festival, and he was like one of the guests at it. But when he was doing the interview with him, remember he just kept
broken in.
yeah, he'd say, "Oh, so what do you think of the festival?" Well, I think it's, and he'd look at the camera, and your man was like, "Oh."
He just continued
all
with the
right, yeah.
questions, Joe. I don't think your man was getting it at all, actually. Like,
No, I think he was like,
doing a very straight-laced
He
interview.
was probably after being with him all weekend, and he's probably sick of it
Please
at
stop.
that point, where he's just like, "Please, just speak in your own voice."
Very
I can't.
entertaining, though.
I honestly just can't take this
Or maybe
anymore.
the guy can't speak in his own voice anymore. He's just been the Crypt Keeper.
Well, no, he would
Keeper for
talk
so
in his
long.
own voice.
that's true,
It's
I
not as if
suppose.
he was like walking around, kind of like,
"Nah,
"I'll have
here's the
2 hot
toilet."
dogs. I shit myself." But yeah, Demon Knight.
Yeah.
It's after coming to the conclusion, without wanting to sound like fucking someone who's like, "Oh, movies were better back then," but movies were better back then. I think, not saying that there's not bad movies or not good movies coming out now. There are plenty, but I think on the whole, movies had more personality, bit more character to them.
Yeah, I think nowadays it just seems to be gone real, like, make sure we make a lot of money on this, whereas I think back in the day, obviously they wanted to make money on it, but they also wanted to have a bit of fun and a bit of looseness on set.
Well, I think I think the studios are more like, look, just fucking throw the money at this, make it, like, I think this was made for like 10 or 12 million or something like that. If it was being made today, for the way that it looks, I'd imagine it'd be an awful lot more.
Yeah, because they'd probably go with CGI rather than practical as well.
Well, even if they went with practical, I think it'd cost, like, the whole thing, from what I know, when they're making Demon Knight, they cut the budget nearly straight away with it, and there was a whole thing where instead of demons, the studio executives were like, we want guys in suits to be like salesmen as the demons. And
It would have been a lot cheaper.
yeah,
alright.
and they argued with, they were
Quite
like, you
tricky
can't
for
do that.
sales.
It's called Demon Knight, for
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
not salesmen.
Yeah,
Right?
so they increased the budget up to the 10 or the 12 million it was for it to do it. And like, I mean, the practical effects, they're great in it. I remember even I saw this roughly around the time when it came out, and I remember I was like, this is fucking great, how come no one's talking about this? And there was no one talking about it. Well, I suppose before we go any further into it,
Yes.
like, if you're listening to this podcast, like, I mean, obviously we talk about old movies predominantly on this, so there's going to be like loads of spoilers. Like, you can nearly take it for granted if we're talking about a movie.
We're
We
gonna tell
like
you
it.
everything.
It's going to be rare that there's going to be a movie that we don't like. So if you're new to listening to the podcast, yeah, like, if you haven't seen Demon Knight, you're talking about spoilers. There's like, it's. But
30 years old?
yeah, the plot to it is William Sadler plays this guy called Breaker, who's basically, he's trying to hide this, or well, stop a demon who's played by Billy
Billy
Zane,
Zane, yeah.
who's the collector in it, from getting a hold of this key. That originally there were 7 keys, like when it was like in the beginning of time, and the demons were all run in the darkness, and God came along and he scattered all the keys all around. That's why there was light. So over fucking millennia, demons were looking for the keys, so they got 6 of the keys, and there's 1 key left, and that's unearthed. It's filled with the blood of Christ, which keeps demons at bay. So what has to happen is like there's these demon knights that hold on, protect the key.
Humanity, basically. Yeah, it's like the keeper of the Holy Grail kind of thing.
So William Sadler's car, it just fucking starts off straight away. He's like trying to get away from demon. He holds up in like an old church, which I think is really cool. The church is designed really well. But now it's like fucking bed and breakfast.
It's a decommissioned church. Basically, it's turned into a kind of a motel park brothel.
Now they could have went. I think other horror movies would have went with, well, it's holy ground. The demons can't come onto holy ground. Whereas this, they can go wherever they want.
Yeah, it's been deconsecrated, sure.
Yeah, but it's just that's pretty much the story. So it's a siege movie as well. So then it's like all the guests from the hotel are fucking sieged by the demons outside trying to get the key off Breaker.
Yeah.
And so you meet all the different characters, and it's like zombie movies or a John Carpenter movie, kind of, where it's like you're going to have people that are going to betray people. There's like, kind of a couple of things where
you'll have the area, hero, you'll have the heel.
Yeah, but the area that they're in seems to get smaller and smaller and smaller as the demons kind of encroach on them.
Yeah, they advance further and further.
Yeah, so, and it's fucking really, really, really good. I don't know why it's not bigger. The soundtrack is excellent too as well. Ministry, or maybe it's 1,000 Homo DJs, which is basically Ministry thing as well. There was rumours for years that it was like Trent Reznor was in it, which I thought Trent Reznor was in it. Apparently Trent Reznor was going to participate in it because he used to be a roadie for Al Jorgensen at one point. For whatever reason he didn't participate in it, so there was like rumours that maybe his voice is on one of the songs or something like that. But Pantera, Rollins Band, Megadeth, Filter
opening it.
I think that was the first time I heard Filter with like Hey Man Nice Shot, which has been used for fucking everything.
Every fucking film since.
But it had everything. Great cast. William Sadler, who I was saying, who's the main character in it, Breaker, he was like Det in Bill and Ted. He's also the bad guy from fucking Lethal Weapon, Die Hard 2. And he's been in a ton of things. I think William Sadler is one of like really versatile actor.
Yeah,
he's been in a ton of William Darabont.
You don't actually recognise him from film to film. He changes so much.
But he's just fucking great. Like, he's one of these guys I think very underrated. I suppose this has been his leading role, but like a lot of people probably look at this as Billy Zane's movie, who like just completely and utterly fucking hams it up.
Yeah, he's like Cowboy Satan kind of a thing.
Yeah, but he's really good in it. Yeah. Like he's a mixture of Jim Carrey, and then when he wants, he can be
very sinister and creepy. Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith. I think I'm not sure if this was her first one. This is the first time I ever heard of Jada Pinkett Smith, who plays Geraldine in it, which is going to end up taking over the role as the Demon Knight. She's like an ex-convict that's on like a work release scheme.
She's a cleaner in the motel kind of thing.
Yeah. Then you have the one that plays Cordelia, that's Brenda Bakke, I don't know how the fuck to pronounce her name, but she was in American Gothic and Hot Shots. Dick Miller, who is in everything, he plays Uncle Willie in it. Then you got, is it Cheech Pounder or
Cheech Pounder, I think.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce his name.
I don't know. CCH, Cheech Pounder.
Who people will know probably from The Shield and
or from Dennis's fantastic impersonation on It's Always Sunny. Honest to God, when he bust that out, I'm still
I forgot all about it. It was just we're looking at a video about Demon Knight, and they showed a clip of fucking Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny doing the God damn it Dutch.
It's honestly, it's just if you haven't seen that, go and watch that as well. By the way, while you're at it.
But also you have Thomas Hayden Church in it, who plays Roach, and Thomas Hayden Church was Sandman. He was in Wings. A load of other things as well, but I think they're the main people. But like everyone that's in it, they're like big characters.
Big names, yeah, absolutely. But I think it was very smart because they kind of started off straight into it.
Oh,
they didn't give you any. It's just him running, and it starts off straight away with the tattoos,
explosion
of the 7
and
stars
cars. There's no fucking around with it. It just gets straight into the action.
And very smart as well because it's a siege film. It's always very handy. There's a couple of scenes outside of it, but it's all in the same place. So it's just all these characters that could nearly be based on a stage kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah, I think the only time that they even attempt to venture out of the church is that they find the tunnels underground, the
mines,
old
yeah.
mines, and they go down there, and of course the demons are down, and it's all very zombie kind of thing. But like, I mean, it is like Western siege.
Yeah.
It's like a tradition nearly.
Oh, it's almost a bit like fucking From Dusk to Dawn kind of a thing as well, you know.
Funny you should say that. Apparently, Dusk Till Dawn was because this was meant to be part of a trilogy of planned films that they had for it, but it didn't do as well as they wanted to do it. Even there was like an after credit scene where the Crypt Keeper comes up and says, "Oh, come back for
part 2 or
a
whatever.
Dead Easy," I think it was going to be called, which was going to be a zombie film set in New Orleans. But they didn't do it. They ended up doing it was like Bordello with Blood years later, which had Corey Feldman in it. It's a vampire movie. I've seen it. I think we might do it in a couple of weeks. I seem to remember it being pretty awful but kind of funny. It's not up to the same level as this, but it's okay. And there's another one which I've never seen as well, which is called Ritual, which I think is like a zombie thing. So maybe that's that Dead Easy.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to, because like, just going back looking at this, I was just fucking blown away by how good it was and how fun it was.
That's the thing. I think that's what's missing from a lot of, say, horrors or just general film nowadays. It is this sort of sense of like fucking fun and, you know, aside jokes, and even in the most serious of issues. Like, I mean, I suppose part of it is Billy Zane, the collector or whatever. He doesn't outright kind of try and like kill you or anything like that. It's like he tries to tempt you.
Yeah, there's that temptation aspect to it, and as well, people can get possessed. It kind of just threw everything in. It was trying to be like based on, obviously, like, I mean, there wasn't a Tales from the Crypt comic
story,
book.
yeah.
It wasn't based on it. It was going to be the Demon Knight, I think, was floating around as a script for a long time, and then they decided they're going to. Oh yeah, I was going to say Dusk Till Dawn was apparently the script for Dusk Till Dawn was considered at one point to be part of the whole Tales from the Crypt thing. Yeah, which you could see it fitting in. You know, it has that vibe to it. Yeah.
And even, I suppose, the special effects are kind of similar. That was one thing I was actually having a good chortle at when we were watching Demon Knight, was like the actual demons themselves, and they showed up. Like the amount of effort that had gone into it. Like, I mean, you see it at first, Billy Zane basically bleeds his green gooey blood on the ground, and these...
You made me bleed my blood.
Yeah, my own blood. And this fucking, it's like this fucking slime from like a children's show, kind of neon green, kind of all the demons start spouting out of that. But when they come out, they're like birthed from the ground in this slime, and then they come up and suddenly they have like gold earrings and they're all kind of fancy. It's almost like the fancy fucking female gremlin or something like that, you know, the way she's done up. So they have all these like jewelry and they have like boobs and stuff like that.
It's very good.
I mean?
It's like it's not taking itself too seriously, you know, but at the same point, it kind of is. You know,
they're still horrifying and terrifying, but they have that kind of Gremlins vibe about them where they're a little bit hilarious as well. The demons, you know?
They kind of should, in the way that they lurk around and stuff. But when they do get down to attacking people, it's like, oh, you kind of underestimate how vicious they can be, or kind of like how dangerous they can be. It's the same as the Gremlins.
That's what I was going to say, but I think the thing that really set the scene for the level of violence and all the rest was, it was kind of going along okay up until, you know, sort of the two cops are basically, this gentleman told us you're after robbing something. And when they started having the suspicions, Billy Zane just gave up the pretense of being a gentleman. He just turned around and punched straight through one of the sheriff's heads.
Yeah, and it's like, you're not expecting it, because you kind of think, all right, they're going to go down to the fucking station, this is going to drag out for a while, there's going to be something, and it's like, no.
Yeah, and it is, Billy Zane just literally shrugs and rolled his eyes, and he's just like, oh, fuck this, I'm too tired for this charade. Turns around, punches your man, literally fists through his face, and then pulls his own head off and throws it back at the other sheriff.
And I'm fairly sure that sheriff was Herman Munster in The Munsters. John Schnook.
Maybe not.
No, maybe not. He looked a bit like him. He was in a lot of Star Trek stuff, according to IMDb.
Yes, maybe you should have looked at. Well, I think so. Look, go down right. It's going to be right down.
He was in Alf.
It's going to be right down at the very end of that. Look, go way off down. And I'm nearly sure I saw
The Munsters. He was Herman Munster. Yeah, in the reboot of The Munsters, obviously. But he was in Misfits of Science. He was in a lot of stuff.
He's in Murder, She Wrote.
But you know, you do kind of think, all right, because he seems to be the steady one, that he's going to be in.
He's sensible, and he's going to be the hero, basically, kind of rallying the troops. But
it does. It just
murdered
fucking,
straight away.
Yeah. With it, but like we were saying, the practical effects with it, like even when they puts the fist through the head, it looks
fucking gory.
realistic and so, and like I mean, when there's 2 possession bits in it, one Witcher woman, the prostitute, and it's like you think that all right, it's just they're gonna have fucking green eyes or whatever, but it's like their faces. It's very much like the Thing,
American Werewolf, I think, and
like with the head exploding and expanding and the big long tongue kind of going, and then there's a bit where there's a kid comes into it, and you think in most films kids are safe. The kid gets possessed, and I think that whole scene as well is done really well because they flick between. He gets possessed from reading like Tales from the Crypt, the comic, but it keeps flicking over and back to the pages of Tales from the Crypt, showing what's happening. Kind of because there's certain things that they probably were like, "Fuck, we don't have the budget to do this, so let's show it in a comic page, and then we can flick back to stuff happening." And like he kills Breaker, and that's like it's just a horrible death, like you know. And then your woman Jada Pinkett kicks him out the window, and he explodes.
True enough.
And the bit with which one was? Oh, there was one of them where I think it was with the prostitute when she turns into the demon. Oh no, it was with Dick Miller when he gets possessed, and they fucking they cut his head off. I know,
Jesus
it was.
Christ,
no, you know when they shoot someone in the head and the eyes get blown out, but the eyes don't, because you have to destroy the eyes is how you kill demons. But the eyes are on the floor, so they
go
have to
rolling
roll
off. Yeah, exactly.
It's
almost like the eyes are the separate entity. And
it is Witcher woman Cordelia, the prostitute. When that goes on, that whole scene is fucking mental. Like it just goes. They go into her, she fucking attacks. It just goes mental. I think Cheech Pounder gets her arm ripped off at that point.
Oh, very early on she does, actually. Yeah, I think she has the key in her hand, and it just basically just gets ripped off, and she's like, Jesus Christ, holy fuck, like, and it's, she's just like staggering around.
But it just goes fucking apeshit mental. That's like 5 minutes. It feels like around 5 minutes. There's a lot of action, a lot of stuff happens in it, in a very condensed kind of, it's very Evil Dead. I think very, very Evil Dead. Like with it, it's just that explosiveness with it, where they have like the little lulls, and then all of a sudden it's
everything
just
goes
fucking like
nuts.
Bang.
Yeah.
With it. But
there's a lull coming up now on our podcast.
Yes, there's a lull coming up now while we talk to you about my undies. I've soiled down.
Yeah, no, this podcast could get sponsored by Cowboy Boots or Green Goo or Demon Earrings for the film.
For the film, yes. Yeah. But as well, just when we were talking about fucking the Evil Dead comparisons, I think they had some of those shots that they were like Evil Dead-y kind of shots, and you're like Batman from the 60s
kind of thing as well.
No, you know the way whereas the camera tilts to kind of create that unease or that kind of comic. I don't know what you had to say, but it's like it was. I know they did a lot in the Batman
fucking
TV
around to
series.
the perspective, like
and it just gives you that kind of comic booky, but kind of yet horror vibe to it. And this is the thing, the director. Oh, excuse me.
Yikes.
I've been possessed. Yes, Ernest R. Dickerson. He does a fantastic job. With this, like it's absolutely he directed Juice as well, and he's after directing 11 episodes of The Walking Dead. But you can see him being properly utilised. But he used to be a cinematographer on Spike Lee movies. He's done a lot of directing.
It's only now you're looking at his IMDb, eh?
Yeah. And
well, I suppose a little bit of trivia I was kind of reading about him as well was the Jada Pinkett Smith character, the Geraldine or whatever it was, that was meant to go to a white actress originally, and he kept pushing for Jada Pinkett Smith to do it.
It was Cameron Diaz.
That's what it was. But he kept pushing for her, so she's sort of one of the, I suppose, an early sort of a black heroine as well, if you know what I mean. It was a bit unusual around that time. I know it was only 30 years ago.
And I suppose it would have been, like, I mean, the whole thing with her character as well, she's not a tropey kind of thing. Like, I've seen some of the videos and people referring to her as, geez, he did The Wire as well.
He's done some of Dexter as well.
And Heroes.
Master of Horror.
But
down through it all.
The whole thing with her, she's not a trope. I think she's not. I was saying in some of the videos that I saw, they referred to her as like the final girl. She's not a final girl. It's like nearly straight away in it. Because like it's fucking, the whole thing with the plot is that the Demon Knight, their main thing is that when the stars align, they have this tattoo in their hand. When it gets into a circle, that's when they're after finding the next Demon Knight, and their job is just to pass it on. So they're really only fucking like carrying it for so long.
They're like the guardian of the Holy Grail kind of a thing.
But they're not going to be immortal or anything like that. They just have to, so it's like everything is predestined. So when he meets her and she's like, oh, I got a good feeling about you, and you know, but it's
and as well, I suppose you have the whole thing as well. I mean, at the start, she's sort of, you have all these sort of characters who would be considered to be a bit lowly, insofar as like you have the prostitute, who you'd have like kind of a Mary Magdalene kind of a thing. She's like an ex-con, she's a cleaner on her work release program and all the rest. And you kind of expect them to be like, oh, they're incidental characters, but then they end up being the heroes and the uncorruptible.
That's one of the things I think it's similar to the thing. They give nearly all the characters in this a good amount of screen time, where you get to know. They don't get into any backstories or anything like that. They hint at certain bits and pieces. Like with the prostitute Cordelia, they just have a whole thing with Billy Zane when he's doing the temptation thing about kind of like, oh, you've had a hard life or whatever kind of a thing. But
you just want to find true love kind of thing.
But they don't get into there's, and you kind of know it's, I think this can be a good thing sometimes, using shortcuts with like, you know, fucking say certain character tropes. One thing I thought was very funny is, I can't think of his name, but the guy that they had playing, there was a fella, he was like basically not love it, but the
postman.
Yeah, the postman. Wally, was it Wally? Yeah. Charles Fleischer. He was like, did the voice of Roger Rabbit. And a bunch of other things.
Blown away when you told me that, like, my God.
But he comes across as, oh, he's like
so sweet, and he's like, you know, sort of the best friend, and kind of like, oh, I'll help you out, Cordelia, and I'll do anything.
And sure, of course, when she gets possessed by a demon, she fucking kills him. But it's the whole thing, you think, oh, that poor guy. And then later on, because there's like a brief bit of talking about him being fired from the post office, and he's like, they're saying I was robbing mail. I wasn't robbing mail. I don't know why it was. And then near the end of it, they end up, when they're stuck in like the roof of the fucking the church, they find that he was robbing everyone's mail. They find all their mail, and he was reading it all, and he had like a box of guns and fucking grenades.
Post office,
where he was after leaving a letter saying, I'm going to kill everyone in the post office because I love you, Cordelia, you know. And it's just like, fucking hell. He wasn't that.
He wasn't like the sweet guy that he kind of.
And there was that thing in the 90s where there was like, it was, I don't know how regular it was, but I remember seeing it a bit on the news where it was like about disgruntled postmen.
The whole term going postal like comes from it, you know.
Going off and shooting up like post offices and things. And they even take the piss out of it in the Naked Gun 33 and 3rd at the start, where they're doing that whole Untouchables thing, and the fucking all the buggies with the babies in them are kind of like falling down the stairs, and then like there's a scene where like a load of angry postmen come along with machine guns running down with it. But and like, I mean, he's another great character, but it's like that nice little twist where you kind of go, oh, and you kind of go, maybe I shouldn't have felt so sorry for him.
But he's the ultimate like nice guy in quotations kind of a thing, you know, where he's like, oh, I'm so lovely, but I'm actually a fucking psychopathic creep kind of thing behind it all.
And like with the Temptations, like what was it? You knew like Thomas Hayden Church's character Roach, he was going to betray everyone. You just knew from the start. If you've ever seen a zombie movie or any heist, there's always one
dickhead who's just out for himself kind of thing. And they set him up to be a horrible character from the start. Like he visits your one Cordelia quite frequently, and he's just into a bit of S&M and all this kind of stuff.
He's getting
but
like
the minute she starts electrocuted or whatever. But the minute she says out and back to him, he's just like backhands her and he's like, shut up, you whore. Kind of, it's just like horrendous. But it's setting him up.
You probably couldn't
character.
hear him because your hearing was kind of bad. But before, there was one bit where someone was walking by the room when he was in it, and he was going on to her about, say, when he was being like getting his nipples electrocuted, and he was like, oh, I'm constipated at the moment from lewds, and I kind of like, you know, I get off sitting on the toilet and not being able to shit, and that's what's after giving me piles. And you can hear all this like murmur. And that's the first time I heard it, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I would imagine they knew putting that in there, like no one's, or they thought like no one will fucking hear this, and then like 30 years later fucking gets you a Blu-ray release, and fucking people better speakers, and they're like, what?
Oh my god.
Well,
But I suppose with the whole, you have the whole blood of Jesus in the key and all the rest, so you have him set up to be kind of the Judas character with Mary Magdalene as well, so you kind of have all these little religious
I didn't actually think of the end of the whore and all
traitor,
that, but that's like Breaker says that it's always 7, that there has to, that's why he thought
Seven
it was a
seals,
safe
yeah.
place to be, because there was only like 4 or 5 people in the place at first, and then 7, and then like Billy Zane shows up. But we were talking about like Billy Zane with the Temptations, he's very good, and it gives his range.
Yeah.
And then there's that Jim Carrey moment with Roach where he's like, hey, look, we'll do a deal. Kind of like, he doesn't even have to tempt him. He's just like, oh, look, just leave me go and I'll give you the key.
Yeah.
And Billy Zane opens his mouth and a big fucking sponge pops out
boing.
So he can clean the blood to them. And that's a very, like, Jim Carrey the Mask moment, I thought.
But there's a lot of sort of weird moments like that. Like, Billy Zane is fucking a zany character in this, is probably the best way to put it. He's his own thing, but like even he does these little fucking a little 2-step dance out of the blue, like, and all these little hilarious asides, but then he turns super creepy when he's trying to sort of be the, it's, as I said, good range and all the rest.
He's there's like, I mean, Billy Zane, there's just something always about the guy.
That's the thing, and I remember fucking a film I saw years ago called Dead Cam, and I always remember, Jesus Christ, your man in that was fucking he just gave you the fucking absolute shivers.
He could
and
play
it was
psychopath
only,
well.
Years later, I was like, oh my god, that's Billy Zane, like, because obviously he got big then off the back of Titanic, or he was basically another fucking creep then. Cal Hawk, what was it, Cal Hawk?
I don't know. I've never actually seen Titanic.
I don't know how he managed that.
But
No, he's just fucking hilarious, like, in this, and creepy. But
there was there was someone saying, I didn't realise that he was in fucking Twin Peaks, and I saw Twin Peaks.
I don't remember
like,
Twin Peaks at all. Must go back and watch that as well.
Yeah, but there's a movie he was in fucking years ago where I think it was like a foreign horror movie. I won't even look it up because there's so many fucking movies and I think. But it was like maybe shot in Thailand or something like that. And he played like this mystic that was like killing zombies and could, like, with, I think there was like a floating head in it. No, it's none of those. But it's just, he's been in some weird fucking bit. He's after taking some unusual.
Yeah, career turns.
Because like he was like, after Dead Calm, he was like fucking right up there, and then I think it was Sniper or something like that he might have done. There was some war film I remember him doing, and people were like, oh,
but
it's
it
great.
does, like, I mean, what did he do immediately after Titanic? Because he was riding high on a crest there. Everyone was talking about, like, what
it was like all those horror kind of movie fucking things he went off doing. That was the thing with him. He's just like, and there was
he just showed up in weird things like Zoolander as well. Do you remember? He was like helping out, sort of, with the DJ kind of a thing.
The first movie he did after Titanic, like he did the Batman, he played Etrigan the Demon. But he did a movie called I Woke Up Early the Day I Died. So I don't know. He didn't seem to capitalise on it insofar as he didn't go into bigger films, if you know what I mean. No, he could have easily, but
that whole Zoolander thing actually did crack me up because everybody else was, sort of doing cameos, and Billy Zane was just like
Billy Zane,
But anyway, sorry, back to Demon Knight. I think he fucking carried the film off very well as that character.
Yeah. But like we were saying, like, it's a strong cast. There's no weak people in the cast at all.
And it's hilarious as well, I suppose, the sort of the temptations and all the rest, because sometimes it's so simple. You have like your man Uncle Willie, who is sort of the town drunk or whatever, and it's like, oh, I'll give you some beer and a couple of,
that's all that it was.
And
it was like, here, John's a drink,
fine, I'm fine, I'll go then, So it's just, and I suppose that's just every human ever, isn't it?
But I think that was the funny part, because they were shown, I think that happened kind of after with Siege Pounder's character, where like after she lost the arm, he appeared with like her arm on a fucking, like a food plate. And she was like, kind of like, using the empty, and she was, that's me giving you the finger, say no. So you kind of think, oh, maybe they'll all say no. And then, with him, where it's like the most basic thing, here, just have a drink.
Yeah, and there's a couple of ones with some boobs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was like, fine, I'm grand. But as I said, that's kind of, spoke to me basically on a human level, because I'm always at the start of every week.
You're an alcoholic.
Yes,
You
exactly.
just sell
But it's
your
like
soul
at
for
the
like
start of every
a
week,
bottle
I'm
of
like,
whiskey.
I'm going to get on, a healthy diet. I'm going to do exercise. I'm not going to drink at all week. I'm, super fit and looking out for my health and nutrition, all the rest. And then the first time somebody goes, "Do you want a beer?" and I'm like, okay. So easily
Well,
fucking.
hopefully it'll never come down to it that you'll
The fate of humanity rests on me refusing a beer.
with drink with it. But yeah, it's an amazing movie. I think I think underrated gets thrown around an awful lot, probably by us.
Yes.
But
By you.
it is like such an underrated movie, and I think in a weird kind of way the Tales from the Crypt tag on it might have hurt it more.
A little bit, yeah, because it set it up to be this sort of like throwaway kind of comedy horror, or almost like a whatchamacallit, what was the other one? Fucking the Tales of the Unexpected and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you see, I think it came out probably like Tales from the Crypt when it came. There was a TV series of for people who aren't familiar, based on the comic, and it was like massive in the late 80s and early 90s. There was like fucking a load of big stars attached with, like, the different episodes of it, and but by the time this came out, I think they knew they were kind of losing popularity, so they decided, we'll do movies, and that way then kind of like people might get too tired of the franchise. But I think by the time this came out, people were like, the brand of Tales from the Crypt was.
Well, I think
after,
it was around. I think it was the time where it was turning back to like really serious like horror, like the likes of Seven and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think people are turning away from the schlock horror kind of horror kind of.
But
things.
as well, it's that association with a TV show. Like, I mean, nowadays, if someone turned around and said, "Oh, there's going to be a Game of Thrones film," or a Sopranos, like there has been a Sopranos movie, it doesn't have the same connotation it would have in the 90s. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was always seen as like TV as kind of the cheap and cheerful cousin of film.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it's
that was it. Like, like it's what people love TV, but that was because that was your main fucking.
Films are supposed to be grander or something bigger or better. It's like, well, if I can see that on the TV, why do I want to go to the cinema and see it?
Well, that's it. And I think then by default, a lot of people, like, I mean, I know I did, where I was like, it's not going to be that great, and I just wait for it to come out in video, and I look at it on video because it seems like a straight to video thing, and it wasn't. It's like I don't know how many times I've seen this, but every time I look at it, I'm always like, fucking hell, this
is good.
Yeah, like, I mean, it is up there with the likes of some of John Carpenter's movies, I think. Maybe not like The Thing, or like, not like The Thing is like fucking a rare. A lot of John Carpenter's movies are rare fucking movies that are in leagues of their own.
Yeah. But I kind of like the book ending as well with the Tales from the Crypt thing, because it's a bit sort of, I don't know, Blazing Saddles kind of thing, where it bursts into reality at the end, and suddenly it's at the the red carpet and all that kind of stuff. I kind of like that kind of breaking the fourth wall.
I thought it was good. I like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
I think that, and like, I mean, you had the Stephen King's version of the Creep Show.
Yeah. And
there was a few different ones, and Creep Show 1 and 2 did alright in the 80s. But the anthology films I think the 80s were the last kind of time. And I don't think people really knew what to expect with this. I can't remember really much marketing for it. And this I would have been around 17 at the time when it came out. All the bands I really liked on the soundtrack, and I don't remember the soundtrack being pushed. I came across the soundtrack. I had the soundtrack at one point on CD, actually. I must have gave it to fucking someone who we used to live. Well, he must have had. But I remember just coming across the sound randomly in like the metal section, and I was like, "Fuck, this is like
some good people on this then." Cemetery Creature, and as I said, fucking Hey Man, Nice Shot, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it's maybe I don't know. Yeah, I'm fairly sure. I don't know. There were so many different sounds, because there was a friend that I had when I was in school. We were both into metal, and we used to nearly take turns buying kind of, so we wouldn't have the same. I'll buy
this one and you buy the next one. We can share. Yeah.
And we went mad. Like, I always liked movie soundtracks anyway, but we went mad into buying horror movie soundtracks in the 90s, because there's loads of metal on, and you discover new bands. Like, I think The Crow 2 had like a Deftones song, which it's still one of my favourite Deftones songs of all time, but you can't. That's not on any of their albums, and and there was the same with Korn. did a couple of one. It was on The Crow 2 as well, actually, with
Yeah.
Gore. But all those different albums, soundtrack albums, were like there's.
Yeah, they were basically like fucking whatchamacallit, the kind of the trade tapes of the early 80s is how you discover new music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a
And it's
lot
like,
on, but they'd always have like bands like Slayer or someone like that on. But it would be an exclusive song for
Yeah,
that.
for the film, yeah.
that you wouldn't get on an album. So it was a good way of getting fans, and then you kind of listen to it and you kind of go, oh, you know what? Look at the fucking film. It was like we talked about this on previous podcasts.
Yeah.
It was a big thing in the 80s and the 70s where it was like, promote the fucking soundtrack first. It worked for Top Gun. Take My Breath Away was number one for fucking, it seemed like forever over here.
I've never seen Robin Hood in that fucking Bryan Adams song.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think that was like a record beating fucking, I think it was like 50 weeks in the charts or something.
You know, that fucking
Bananas.
song did not do that film, man. You should look, we will look at that film if you've never seen it. It's really, really good, really action packed. It's not really a love story. It is a bit.
Alan Rickman is in it, isn't
Yeah,
he?
Alan Rickman is brilliant in it, but it's really, really action packed. But
yeah,
because
I avoided it because of that, like, as well, because that whole battle was going on at the time between Bryan Adams. I'd do anything. What was it called?
I can't remember. Yeah.
I do it for you. Whatever
Yeah,
it is,
everything I do
it
it for you, yeah.
And that was in a kind of a chart battle with Extreme More Than Words.
Oh God, yeah.
But you see, I was falling on the More Than Words side, so I hated Bryan Adams' song as well. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to see that fucking film then.
I think all the people that would have been gotten into Extreme and bought an Extreme
I
album
know,
went,
yeah.
oh my God, this is
not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Thought it was going to be all lovely croon and love ballads and harmonies.
And it's like just awful hair metal, kind of get the funk out.
Well, it did actually happen to me because I think I bought the single and the B-side on it was like, nice place to visit, I wouldn't want to live there.
I think it was like For Unlawful. No, that was a Van Halen thing, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. But it was something like that where it's like folk or funk or something like
Yeah.
that, you know? Where like that was the thing where it was like, oh, how can we... Wasp used to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Do the big ballad and you get all the girls
Oh no,
into
not
it.
the... Well, they all did the big ballad,
Yeah.
but like Wasp used to like have them fuck or like
Yeah.
Wasp was we are sexual perverts.
Yeah. It's like, oh, age lords.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you're 60 years of age.
Yeah, but they're appealing to the teenagers, so yeah, how bad?
They didn't.
Yeah. But teenagers were traditionally always the ones buying music, so if you want to sell your music, you have to sing about things that teenagers care about.
But as well, it was the whole kind of parental fucking advisory kind of thing at the time.
Trying to
as
get the
well.
stickers on, yeah.
But yeah,
I've just got that Extreme song stuck in my head now.
get the funk out.
No, nice place to visit. Anyway, go on.
God.
I know, yeah.
But,
And that really did surprise me quite a lot because I didn't know anything about Extreme when it came out, and I was like, huh,
yeah,
not quite what I was expecting.
I
Interesting.
heard of them before that song got big because I used to follow. There was like a thing on ITV where they used to do like the charts on a Saturday. But it was like every third or fourth week they'd do like the top 10 metal, and they'd have like, and it was awful like stuff on it. That was obviously doing well at the time. I think it was based on fucking the American Billboard chart.
Yeah,
but
fucking hair metal or whatever.
It was
like
bands like, oh God, I can't remember. Oh
Poison.
no, well I didn't know Poison would have been gone at that stage. They would have still been hanging around slightly, but they wouldn't have been.
Halloween.
Halloween sure German. Did they have? Oh, I can't think of their name. Their mind fucking. Oh, I don't know.
All right.
But back to Demon Night.
Jesus Christ, yeah, you're just having a little mini breakdown there.
I see that they're not a band that I like, but I remember there was a lot of people I went to school with kind of liked them, and they thought that they were like prog metal. But
Cinderella.
No. But Demon Night.
Yeah.
I think it was something probably they could have handled a bit better with the marketing note. And as well, I think the logical thing for anyone that'd look at this would go, instead of doing a sequel where it's got Corey Feldman in a fucking prostitute den with vampires,
Yikes.
maybe do a sequel following Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah. Would have made sense, yeah. Finding the
or
next Demon Night.
Do a fucking TV series where it's nearly like Highlander or something like that, where every episode is a different Demon Night in a different time. Because the whole thing with Breaker's character in it, they show what Annie's in like the trenches in World War One, shooting a fucking kind of like a German soldier, fucking demon in the eyes, and it's like you go, that would be an amazing hour and a half, like following him.
Yeah.
But even if you went back, a prequel with him kind of like in the trenches, there's been other horror films, and generally I'm not really a fan of war horror movies. I like I was gonna say The Golem. It's fucking, oh, why can't I think today? It's your man who did Miami Vice did. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's really like the likes of Dead Snow and stuff like that.
Dead Snow was, but we never really went back looking at Dead Snow, because Dead Snow, while it was fun to look at the once, I think it was just like, alright, it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not a fan of Nazis.
Oh, well, I would hope not.
Yeah. And like, I mean,
I really love the Nazis. I think they're cool dudes.
Yeah, well,
Pretty
that
awesome.
would be too fucking kind of like, you know, controversial thing to say in some places.
Actually, yeah, that's it. I know,
But
very right-wing American.
I just like, I don't know, Nazi zombies, I think they're just like, it's a bit
of a trope.
a bit obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's a bit kind of obvious. That, like, I mean,
obvious.
yeah, but it is. It's like, oh god, no, evil Nazis are back.
Yeah. Why not? Well, what else kind of evil
She
stuff?
did like
to it?
fucking zombie Buddhist monks.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, see what?
Zombie Irish priests.
Yeah, but
That
they'd be
get
only,
very.
they'd be just eating little boys.
I was just going to say that turned very much into a Serbian movie very quickly. Yeah.
But oh god, yeah.
Yeah, that's, that took a horrible turn.
it did.
Let's get back to Billy Zane doing a little cowboy dance.
Yeah.
Nice little jig.
But they could have had Billy Zane in the different,
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, the different episodes.
Iterations of it all, yeah.
With him.
exactly.
And they could have like went back to ancient Egypt. And,
But sure, they went back as far as like fucking, what was it, the fucking Hill of Gethsemane, or what is it called? And Christ is
Golgotha.
what?
Golgotha.
Up on the cross and stuff like that, you know. So they could have gone right back to biblical times and done a little bit back then with the old Jesus trying to.
Do you know, this is really annoying me about that fucking thing with the golem in it.
It was probably called the Golem.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
you
It was
sure
fucking
you're not
Tangerine Dream did the soundtrack
You're
to
not
it.
thinking of an episode of Supernatural, are you, with the Golem?
No, you couldn't get it on video even for fucking years. It was kind of disappeared. You couldn't get it on DVD. I remember having to pirate it just to
I
look at
remember
it.
you going on about the soundtrack for Tangerine Dream, but I don't remember what the film was. Never mind.
Sure. It's the guy who did Heat.
Okay.
Why can't I think of Heat?
Al Pacino?
Yeah, Al Pacino's famous thing. But yeah, look, just before we finish the podcast, because there might be people out there that are listening
same
to
as
go,
you going,
who the fuck is it? And they're driving along.
Director
Michael Mann.
Okay. And what is it then that he has done? Last of the Mohicans, is that it?
Yeah, that was it.
You're going to have to go way back through all of this
Yeah.
then. Miami Vice, Thief. No.
Oh God.
Are you sure you haven't just like fucking imagined this?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Well, sure, you have to look at the director thing. What was it he directed? The Keep.
Oh, I would not have gotten that at all from your description.
Yeah, so for people, The Keep.
Right.
We'll go back and look at that. Some say, Jesus, 83. But this was because Michael Mann was not happy with it, and he just did not want fucking anyone to it kind of got sunk. The soundtrack by Tangerine Dream is amazing. It's just a really, really amazing movie and shot really, really, really well. Ian McKellen is in it. And Gabriel Byrne as well, and there's a guy who seems to be a Nazi in fucking everything he's ever been in. But it's basically about a bunch of Nazis who want to summon a golem. Or not a golem.
Not Golem.
A golem.
What's that, my precious?
Yeah. And it just covers a lot of weird kind of shit. I think there might be a director's cut of it out now because, I just wanted
That's an awful ramble you went on.
Yeah,
there
I just wanted to
find
bring
the
it
name
just
of
in
that.
case there was anyone listening and they were driving along and they're like, I can't think of anything else. And then they
I
lost
can't
control
stop
of
and
the
Google
car.
it. Oh no.
Yeah, and they crashed into like William Sadler. And he was like, this fucking keep happening.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, exactly. Driving along and like I did once, I was like, I had a question and I was like, hey Siri, could you help me with this question? And it just boomed over. It was connected to the car.
It's pronounced, say Kyle.
I know, it just basically screamed at me, you cannot do that when you're driving. And I was like, alright, calm down, no need to fucking scream.
Bitch! Oh my god. Freddy Krueger's voice.
Yeah, that would be great,
Scary Terry's voice.
That would be even better.
Instead of
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Take a left, bitch!
Because the one I have is just like this nice, he sounds like he's off Bosco because I chose the Irish voice and it just sounds like full off Bosco. It's really nice and pleasant. Yeah, I'd rather have something like that actually. Billy Zane.
Ta AIDS a gum.
No, give me Billy Zane from Demon Knight. Give me that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, look,
Cool.
we're done. Yeah, so look, Demon Knight, obviously, as we say at the end of every show, go and watch it again. Because I presume you've looked at, if you've listened to this podcast, I presume you've looked at it, and I presume you got like very bad taste in podcast hosts, so hopefully you've better taste in movies.
Yes.
So yeah, look, we'll definitely be talking about Bordello of Blood. So if you want to do like a book club thing or movie club thing,
you can watch ahead.
Yeah, watch ahead, and we'll talk about Bordello of Blood. Next week, I should announce what we're going to be doing on the podcast so people are listening. So if you want to kind of like, it's going to be the Meg 1 and the Meg 2.
Hooray.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Because I saw the Meg 2 was after coming up on the thing, and a quick story about it before we go. I used to work in mental health in a hospital, and there was a guy in it who hadn't been to the cinema in maybe 20 years. And I brought him off into the cinema, and I was like,
he hadn't been outside of the setting of the hospital for many years either as well.
Yeah,
This is probably
he'd been in the hospital
first,
since
like,
the 60s,
dailies.
yeah. And I was like, well, he was like, yeah, you want to go to cinema? And it was like the Meg was in, and he was like, oh, I want to go and see that. And I was like, oh, mightn't be. I can't remember what else. There was better films fucking
more suitable films,
yeah, and I remember just watching him through the whole thing, just kind of, it was like, this is fuck. And I was like saying to him, well, what you think? And he was like, he never wanted to go to the cinema. It was terrible.
You just re-traumatized.
Yeah, so kind of because there was a part because I think it might be one of these things where it's like it's so bad it's good.
Of course.
So I want to kind of
it's
rewatch
not so
it
good. It's good
because I couldn't like laugh with him about how shit it was. It was like destroying his whole world at the time, because there was because it was like made with a lot of Chinese investments, so they're trying to appease the Chinese market, and there's a lot of really weird shit in it, like with fucking like
yes, we'll talk about it
next week. But yeah, if you want to go off and look at the Meg 1 and 2, and then what we do is we'll talk about Unforgiven or something like that. But yeah, look, thank you very much for listening.
Go on, do the Crypt Keeper voice.
Goodbye. I am the Crypt Keeper.